we are really close to being out of time, but I want these two to be able to ask their questions, so
Yes, no questions only.
lightning round.
Hello. I was kind of wondering, when did you realize you had a fascination with writing, and did you go to university or were you self-taught?
I was an animator originally, and it got too complicated. I'm going to really give you a fast version here. It got too complicated, and one day when I was 15, I went, I'm going to become a writer. I did not go to university. I did go to something called the Clarion Science Fiction Writers Workshop, where my teachers were people like Theodore Sturgeon, Ursula K. Le Guin, Frank Herbert, who wrote Dune, just people like that. And Peter Beagle, who wrote The Last Unicorn. So I had a very intense, and I went 2 summers when I was a teenager. So I had a very intense education. Immediately, 2 years after that 15-year-old decision, I had sold several science fiction stories. The following year, I wound up collaborating with a friend of mine from Clarion on an episode of the animated Star Trek, which won the only Emmy that the original iteration of Star Trek with Kirk, Spock, etc. ever won. The original series never won an Emmy. That was my entree into. So, and was that the question? Did I answer the question, or did I leave something out? Okay, you got it. Go.
Can I go first next time? That was Jesus. No.
Yes, no.
I didn't. It was prose fiction for me that I would write. I mean, for my own pleasure and with a view to sort of publication.
And the pay
down the
is
line.
so good for
Yeah,
prose fiction.
yeah. And then I got sidetracked in a nice way, sidetracked into comics. I was a comics fan to a degree, but I didn't have any intention to pursue that.
Were you an SF fan or?
Well, I was. Yeah, as a kid, I sort of cut my teeth on science fiction and funnily, talking about the science fiction camp, my teacher in primary school back in the UK, so I would have been 10 or 11. Whenever we were given an assignment to just do prose, and I'd always do science fiction, and I'd be really quite proud of myself for it. And in the end, I won't name him, but it was Mr. Leal. Mr. Leal said,
I'm telling.
I delivered what I thought. I mean, it was basically a Planet of the Apes rip-off, looking back. But it was probably so long. And a really curt sort of message at the end, his marking was, could you once just devote some time and attention to something other than science fiction? So it turns out not really. No, I can't. So yeah, no formal.
That is the most British teacher's comment I've ever heard.
Thanks for your enthusiasm. I don't much care for it. Please.
All right. Thank you both.